Well, 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 would you look at that? I'm 38 weeks and we have a living room. Greetings loved ones and welcome back to my channel and welcome to, I guess, a postpartum meal prep vlog. That's kind of what I'm feeling, or just like, not even just meal prep, but just like postpartum prep in general, doing little things to make my life easier once I'm on maternity leave and just postpartum recovery. When I'm filming this, it's a lovely Sunday and I am currently 38 weeks in 5 days. The baby is still brewing away and my mom has been in town. She got in on Tuesday and basically since her arrival we've just been doing little things to make the spaces in our house better. You know, like before she came, Finley and I set up this living room actually on Mother's Day. And so this is where our bed used to be. Hi Larry! Like in this area, and ever since we moved up to our bedroom it was just empty and I had just like deep cleaned the carpets and all the surfaces and everything. And then I was like, well, why don't we set up our second TV, set up the couch, move it out of Finley's man cave, put it in here, get some other furniture going. We got a bookcase, we got some macrame from my bestie Abby. My treadmill desk thing is over here too. And even though this is like a temporary setup, we're slowly but surely just making it nicer. The baby's little play gym is on the floor over here too for her to play in and do tummy time in when the time comes. My mom and I also did a little bit of, well, she wanted to get a garden set up for us, basically like a kitchen garden for herbs and recipes and all that kind of stuff. Not only to make her life easier while she's here so she doesn't have to buy all of that stuff and we're just growing it, but also to make our lives easier. And because when we have the idea of like our future garden, it takes a lot of steps to get there. Not only buying a tractor, but also doing raised beds and just like making it, you know, nicer. So then we pivoted to a different idea, which is just using the antique bassinet that my mom gave me that was like in our family for probably like over 100 years. It's been through generations, you know, and it needed a little bit of work to make it safe for the baby. There was some pieces of the wicker missing. I had done a lead paint test on it and it came back negative, thank gourd. But also at the same time, I was like, okay, I kind of want to repaint it because it was like this kind of cream white color and I wanted it to be sage, but I didn't want to deal with the fumes, so I was going to make my mom do it. And it just seemed like there was a bunch of stuff. And then we needed to put some kind of like lace around it as well because of like the missing wicker. Like the baby could like reach out of it. It was just one of those things where it was like bumpers weren't safe, and then we needed we needed to do so many things to it that we all just collectively decided to fill it with cocoa coir instead and make it a planter on the front porch. So now it's growing a bunch of just fun herbs for the kitchen, so that's great. And that's a new update. What else? I have been organizing my closet upstairs, just like kind of getting the bedroom more sorted, not only for us but also for baby. Finley mounted a bunch of stuff on the walls that we wanted, like some art and other random stuff. Obviously in the last vlog I nested severely and I got everything set up for the baby. That was like at week 36 to 37 I got all of that stuff done, and now we're just kind of like waiting. We don't know when she'll arrive, but you know, she's just, like I said, still brewing in there. And we've just been doing, yeah, random other stuff. Like, I don't know, we went to the farmer's market yesterday. We prepped a bunch of broths to have for postpartum soup bases. And so my mom and I did that yesterday, and it took a long time because medicinal broths are ones that are kind of like slower. Like when you make your own, it's like they take like hours to kind of brew on the stove. Then today, I think I want to make some soups with those broths just to put them, you know, so it's not just like a basic broth in the freezer, but like something that would be more nutritious for postpartum for both of us. And so we're kind of just getting like freezer meal prep done. My mom's baking some muffins right now for us, and I think she's gonna do a second batch afterwards. I yesterday also prepped blueberry chia seed pudding, which I'll just put like the rough recipe for on the screen. You basically just blend all of the milk together, the coconut milk and the blueberries, to make a blueberry milk, and then pour your chia seeds in. And I don't use sweeteners in my chia seed pudding, which I think I've said before, but it's definitely been like an obsession of mine in pregnancy. It's just like so nutritious and great and full of fiber with those blueberries, baby. So excited for that. And it's a great like PCOS snack too. And today I think I want to make egg cups. I figured like might as well, while I'm still brewing this baby, film for you. I don't need to leave at any specific point. You know, if I'm still in bed editing away and having the time, like I can still make videos for you. I had a call with my management this week and I was like, I'm just gonna film whenever it feels right. And right now it feels right. So I'm planning on doing that today and for however long this vlog goes on for. Oh, also my mom and I made this cute little shelf in the kitchen. So previously the shelf just had a bunch of crap on it that was like, I don't know where to put any of this other stuff, so I'm just gonna put it here. And whenever I unpacked boxes and found little trinkets, or we got like random little gifts and things, I would just put it on the shelf. And then I just left the shelf alone. And then when my mom came into town and she was asking me what I wanted to do or what I wanted her to clean, I was like, this shelf right here. So we took everything off and then we put everything that I actually wanted on there back on, which is basically my recipe books, my herbal collection, and kind of like a mushroom shrine. And so it's looking very cute. So it has my Merry Mushroom set on there and then just all of our other mushroom things that I kind of like found in various places around the home and in the hosting cabinet that we made in the last video. And yeah, we've just been like cleaning and prepping for baby really and vacuuming violently. And Finley did the dry run of my birth tub. So we have all of the parts for that for the big day, the big delivery day. And my birth kit is all set up. I put up an entire video showing the birth kit on my Patreon. So if you're curious about like what goes into a home birth, it's very well thought out. There's a lot of medical supplies and also a lot of things just like to make me more comfortable, you know what I mean? Whatever distraction and relaxation methods are good for me, they're included in there, whether it's essential oils that are safe for pregnancy or other various things. So yeah, I'm glad that I filmed that. It just seemed like a Patreon video versus a vlog because it was one of those things where it was like pretty niche, you know? So I was like, I'm just gonna put this on Patreon. And honestly, postpartum, if I'm like feeling the urge to post, I'll probably like go there first if I'm MIA anywhere else. Sometimes I like delete social media apps and then people get concerned, but I'm like always on Patreon. So if you ever have concern, you know where to locate me. I'm trying to think of what other little projects I've done. I made this cute little, almost like shrine to our wedding above the wood stove, since the wood stove is like, you know, out of season now that it's almost summer here in Vermont. So that's cute. I got all of our like wedding photos up and our little books as well, our photo albums that we got for Christmas. So I am happy about all of that. And we're donating a lot as we go through our clothes, as we unbox things and move things around. We're like, why do we even have this? Let's just donate it. So my mom's been helping with a ton of that decluttering as well. So that's pretty much what we've been up to. My mom's gonna be here until like mid-June. She's just staying at an Airbnb close by and kind of will just like check in with me and be like, what do you need today? And then we'll like tackle a project, which is great. And Finley's been doing a lot of like landscaping and we've been making Peach's gravesite really nice. My mom brought us peach carnations for down there, so it looks really, really lovely now. And Finley like mowed a new path to there to make it just like more accessible. And Ducky's been doing so well. She loves my mom's German Shepherd, Aurora, so they're vibing and doing just great together. I mean, Ducky's been doing fantastic like since Peach's passing, but she really likes Aurora, so that's been nice. And also it's rain season here, so she's been wallowing underneath our front porch and it's just been adorable because she's pretty much like the greeter now. Like whenever my mom comes over, she'll like wake up and be like, hello, I'm covered in mud, do you want to hang out? It's very cute. And Larry's very happy to have his couch back. So we're all just happy campers here waiting for the big day. Oh, I also wanted to say, not tomorrow, but the next day, I have a dentist appointment to buff away the iron staining on my teeth. So like in my last vlog, people were commenting about my teeth and I thought that it was one of those things where it was just like, only I could notice it, but no. Other people noticed. And also I had been in some of the clips drinking a blueberry smoothie. And so I thought that it was from blueberry staining, but then I started thinking about it and I was like, what has changed in my diet? Oh, I started taking a liquid iron supplement, Floridix. I made a whole TikTok about this, but basically came to the conclusion that it was staining my teeth because I wasn't diluting it in water, and that was not great. And I needed to take it for pregnancy. So anyway, my midwives told me that I could stop taking it. They were like, you weren't even that low in iron. It was like 1 point under where it should be. So like, it's fine. You can stop taking it. But yeah, I made an appointment with my dentist to polish away those stains. So I have that appointment in like 2 days. And so hope I make it to that. Also, I've just been trying to do random little tasks like and get them checked off the list apart from everything I've mentioned, like taking clothes to get alterations done, or taking art that we have to get framed, and just like, you know, little things like that. So that's been life lately. Thanks for listening. Let's get into the vlog. That one really ground up.
Then you have some ground up stuff that you can always use for other recipes if you have too much.
What are we making today?
ABC muffins.
Apple beet carrot.
And a very veggie muffin.
Delicious. This is from, hold on, the Andrea Bemis cookbook. Let Them Eat Dirt. Love her. She's not really online anymore. Good for her. But we got the book. We got the hardcover, or the paperback.
Yes, she wrote her book and she exited the scene.
Yesterday we made this gigantic vat of mushroom. It's basically a shiitake immune boosting broth. A lot of the broths that we made were from the first 40 days postpartum cookbook. And the only ingredient we didn't have was parsley. So I'm adding like a cup of parsley. Stirring that together. Gonna bring it to a simmer. And then she'll be ready to be strained later. She's getting after it over here with her dough. They're going in. How long?
18 minutes.
You got it. Wow, lots of good stuff in there. Cabbage, carrots, kombu. Okay, let's see. Definitely not a big enough bowl. We can just strain it little by little, and I'll give the scraps to Ducky. Or eat them myself. I mean, honestly, this looks delicious. Well, that can just go back on the stove for now. All of our bowls are preoccupied with other stuff. Look at my cutie Mother's Day bouquet. Still thriving. And the ABC muffins came out. Apple, beet, carrot, slay. We have to wait for them to cool because they do still look like they need a little time. Do you see?
We should have stuck a little toothpick in them to see.
I don't have...
Yeah, they're not done yet.
Oh God.
5 minutes later.
Okay, my mom and I split one of the muffins. I honestly loved it. My mom said it needed honey, so if you want to dip them in honey, you can do that. The only thing that's sweet in here is the applesauce that you use. But we're gonna freeze these.
Unsweetened applesauce.
Oh, it was unsweetened applesauce? That's why they're not sweet. Anyway, I got them out of their little silicone things. I have these, but you really don't, in the caraway muffin pan that I have, you really don't need to use it. It's a non-stick pan, you know, so they're just gonna slide right out. But it did give them some little cutie indents, which is nice. But I think I'm just gonna put these in like a gallon freezer bag and stuff those bad boys in there for postpartum. These will be great for breakfast. And my mom is also making more muffins right now, which are in the oven, right?
Yeah.
They just went in. And which ones are these ones?
They're very veggie muffins.
Very veggie muffins. There they are.
Savory veggie.
Savory veggie muffins. So broccoli, carrots. What else is up in there?
Cheese.
Oh, there's cheese in there. Delish. Ducky's been really enjoying all of our shreds and various things that we've been giving her from our big baking day. All right, folks, we've made two different kinds of muffins. The vegetable ones just came out and are cooling. My mom's straining some broth over there that we made yesterday and finished up today, the one that I showed you that needed the parsley. Anyway, we are going to be making egg cups today. And normally I have done in the past a spinach and feta moment. You know what's great about an egg cup is you can just really put in whatever you want in there. So my mom brought over, it was a dozen eggs, but then we used some of them for muffins. So we're gonna use 10 eggs today. And the reason I'm holding this bad boy up is because we're gonna blend them with the cottage cheese, because y'all know I cannot stand the texture of cottage cheese. I will only put it in a quiche, an egg muffin, you know, that kind of a situation. But it has 14 grams of protein. And this one from Kelowna Supernatural Farm is gonna go in today. Black it out, honey. Just shove it in. I know it's really dark over here, by the way. Just walnut wall things. In the past, when I've cooked with cottage cheese, I know you guys have seen me use like my hand blender and stuff, but honestly, I just feel like this is gonna be so much easier because like the blender has a spout and I can just directly pour them into the cups afterwards and it's gonna be easy living. And now I'm gonna crack in. Should I just use all 10? Why not? Normally I go for 6, 8, depending on the size of what I'm making, but we're just gonna jam pack as much protein as possible. And then did you get those little shreds out, like the beets and carrots and stuff to put in the egg cups?
Yeah, and they also have all this broccoli.
Okay. Could you bring me the compost thing when you're done? There's not that much shell in there, but hey, it's not great.
It can't be any worse than the deboning of the whole
Fish yesterday, yeah. We made a fish broth and it literally...
I'm not volunteering for that.
No, that was... My mom just kept calling me brave. She's like, it is so brave of you what you're doing, Megan. So brave. Because the fish broth in the first 40 days, it requires an entire fish, head and tail. And so, you know, we cooked that for probably like an hour and a half or something like that total. And then I needed to debone it afterwards to get all of the fish off because I wasn't just gonna throw the fish away that I just bought whole. Because basically the recipe said to discard the solids after, and I was like, that just doesn't feel right to throw away this whole fish. So I deboned it and I gave it to Ducky because she can't obviously eat bones. Anyway, let's blend this. Grind a bunch of pepper in there. Some salt. Blend it like a smoothie. Okay. Okay, so my mom just loaded these with a bunch of stuff. What'd you load in here?
Broccoli, beets,
Carrots.
carrots.
And then the herbs were basil.
Bunch of herbs, thyme, basil, oregano, garlic chives.
Wow, this is easy living. We're just gonna make sure all these are topped off.
From the jardin.
These are totally gonna explode, but then they're gonna deflate, so that's what you gotta keep in mind. Normally my egg cups bake to about half the size. No, no. I overflowed one. That was not good. They were a little overstuffed. We need to clean these up before they go in the oven.
Do you want me to save these beet greens for anything?
You could give them to Ducky.
Anyway, so the recipe, she's like, 20 it's not the same.
All right, we got 7 minutes on the egg cups. Let's check how they're doing. Oh, they are leaking. That is all right. I will clean it up later. We're browning some shallots and onions right now, and we're making creamy kabocha red lentil soup. This is the recipe. If you want to take a little screenshot, there you go. Woo! Looks great.
Here's what I'm thinking.
We
When
don't
I'm making
peel
any
it.
kind of squash soup, I don't peel it.
I don't
but
peel
I
either.
stick it in the oven and
Oh.
roast it, and then I pull out the meats.
You could do that.
So the oven's already on, so we
Yeah,
can just...
you could pop that bad boy in there. We also have another dozen muffins here that just cooled. We went a little insane with the egg cups, as you can see, and there was an explosion. But we're gonna wait for them to deflate.
It's a souffle.
Yeah, it's just it's a souffle. Oh, things got a little crazy there. That's fine. We'll wait for them to cool. I'm making a separate soup, a seasonal green soup as well, right now. So in here is half an onion, 3 leeks, and parsnips. The recipe called for 3 parsnips, but I actually only got 2, which is fine. They were large parsnips. So we're making this seasonal green soup now. That's the recipe, if you want it, honey. And I'm excited about this one. There's a lot going on here. I'm just, at this point right now, sauteing everything until it's lightly browned, and then I'll add the broth. And the broth that we're gonna do is the one that we made yesterday, which was the immune boosting broth that we have an insane amount of over here. So we'll use that for both of the soups that are on the stove right now. The egg cups look funny, and you know, they did make a little bit of a mess in the pan, but my mom said it was really easy to clean up, so no worries. These are so good. I've already eaten 2, and I need to stop myself because this is for postpartum me, not now me, okay? I'm gonna Ziploc bag these bad boys, put them in the freezer with the rest of my items. We've made 3 dozen various muffins. I just freaking love these things. You can get crazy with them, customize them, put in whatever you want, really. And we use so much vegetable scraps. It's like a scrappy recipe. It was just perfect. Right, Rory? You never really say hi to the vlog, huh? They never really see you. But you're always here with Mom, and you're very good at protecting. Yeah, watching over everything. Yeah. We've just been throwing our scraps to Ducky. Woohoo! Squash is her favorite food, even the skins. That's terrific. Why'd you leave everything else? You didn't really want the beet greens or the carrot tops? Oh, okay. She said yesterday's fish was kind of a lot better. All right, my mom just left a little while ago. Normally she comes around like 12 or 1 and then leaves around like 5 or 6. And that's kind of been what we've been doing all week. But I just want to show you everything that we made today because we seriously slayed. So this rice, this white rice, is actually for this kind of like ginger stir fry. And all of these, so I'm actually going to have this tonight. And then I'll just put whatever we don't eat in the freezer. But this is all of the stock vegetables from the shiitake immunity broth. And then we just added like 2 eggs and some other deliciousness, ginger and stuff like that, sesame oil, and she chefed it up in there for me. And then back here is the creamy kabocha and red lentil soup, and I did not blend it because I like to have a little bit of texture in my soups, honey. I don't want them all blended, and I already got a blended soup over there. So this is gonna be fine for me. Again, this is the recipe. It was so easy. And also I didn't blend it because my mom ended up roasting the squash to get the skin off of it. And then after we did that, it was just like mashed squash, and it was more of like a puree. And so then we didn't really need to blend it. So just make it however you want. And what I did blend was the seasonal greens soup. So this is basically going to be served over quinoa. So in here I have the quinoa that I cooked and I can freeze. And then this is all of the soup in the blender. Instead of using Swiss chard, the only sub that I made was using kale instead, because I don't really like the taste of Swiss chard, especially in soups. It's too much. This is our little prep workstation. This was a loaf of bread in here that my mom made for us, and that's our compost bowl. And we've just been using this table as like a makeshift kitchen island prep station. I need to do a little bit of cleaning up there. Currently loading the dishwasher and whatnot. Got my big ol' planet belly. Down here, this is a bunch of, they're called birth balls, my mom's calling them, but it's basically like an energy ball or a power ball, you know, with like raisins and carrots and dates and I don't know, a bunch of other stuff, nuts. So I just need to label that, but I can like see through these bags, so I know. And then this is our egg cups here. These are the vegetable muffins, and then under there is the ABC muffins. This is 2 things of fish stock that we made yesterday. But yeah, as you can see, we got a tight squeeze here in the freezer. But I can't remember if I said this or not. We are getting a new fridge and freezer, and I think it's being delivered in like 2 days. We'll have more room then. Cleanup time! These are the 2 cookbooks that we were cooking out of today, by the way. Both iconic, incredible. Very healthy, and just like nourishment driven cuisine. What are words? I don't even know what I just said. Healthy cookbooks, gotta love them. All right, it's like 7:45, and I'm gonna go drink my red raspberry leaf tea. Well, there's some other stuff in it too. Actually, I should show you guys the herbalism stuff in a second, but I cleaned the kitchen, so we have a perfectly clean kitchen, all the dishes drying over there, the rest in the dishwasher, and I'm gonna go watch New Girl after this. But this is the tea I've been drinking for a while. You can read what's in there. All fantastic and good for lactation support once I birth my baby. So I made this little tray with all my little herbals, but my mom brought me cramp bark, arnica oil, as well as a trauma solve that has arnica in it, as well as like calendula, a golden seal tincture for afterbirth, and then also some witch hazel. Homemade, honey. She slayed the pregnancy apothecary task that I gave her.
The following day.
77 out today, and Ducky's pretending to be the bridge troll. I'm pouring cool water under there for her to wallow in. She loves it. Hi, little bridge troll. She's getting to work on her hole. She's gotta make it massive for her giant gut. Oh, that is a lot of fun, Ducky. This is what I mean by she stays under here and then she's the greeter. So whenever somebody pulls into the driveway, she can see through the stair slats that someone's here, so she comes out to see them. It's very cute. The herbs look fantastic.
She's twerking.
I need to plant these little parsley plants in here, or I don't know, I feel like we're kind of running out of space, so my mom also planted some by that tree. Ah! She's gonna eat me. The bridge troll. Oh, that is a lot of fun. Just getting a good wrestle with Dad. Just getting in all of your nooks and crooks. Mm-hmm. Ah! Well, you just totally rained mud on everybody. She doesn't really actually care. Not me looking so cute today with my little bow. I think my Daughters of India dresses that I got for Christmas, they came with like this little cloth bow, and I'm wearing it as a headband for the first time today, and it's cute. I don't really wear bandanas as much anymore, and I have my whole bandana collection still. I just have to wash it. I just feel like it's dusty, you know, it's been on this little like ladder for forever in our house, and I'm like, just want to wash all my bandanas. I'm in that era of nesting right now where I'm just like, everything's dirty, or just going like way overboard with tasks than a normal person would who's not nesting. Like, I feel like yesterday we just made so much food, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that we need to make any more until we run through all of that stuff in the freezer, because we don't have that much room. And I'm feeling good about that. I know some people, like, they don't even do postpartum food prep, and then sometimes they regret it because they're like, I don't know, I was just thinking about all this other stuff, and then I realized I didn't have any food when we came home from the hospital, or whatever, you know, whatever your birthing situation is, come home from the birth center, or just if you birth at home and then you're like, oh, shit, I didn't fill the freezer with anything. But that was like my main thing yesterday. And then today, it's just little old me in the car. I'm big on just living my life right now and waiting for the baby to come whenever she wants to come, but not being scared to like leave my house. I mean, I'm not going to drive to like friggin' Mexico, but I'm just fine to like do all my little tasks. So today I am dropping off some alterations. And so you guys may have noticed that my last video that I had put up when I was sewing, it was like, what, October of 2022. It was when I was sewing my Toadette Halloween costume, and I had a really hard time because I was completely out of practice with my sewing machine, and also I'm pretty sure it broke. There was something about it, like the bobbin had broken off, or like where you place the spool of thread had broken off, and I never got that repaired. And ever since then, I've just been like looking at my sewing machine being like, I need to fix that. But I have 2 like grocery bags full of clothes, both Finley and I's clothes, that we need to drop off for alterations, just like random holes and patches and all these kinds of things. So similar to what I was saying in my last vlog, I'm just in the business right now with being this pregnant, where I'm like, I'm just gonna pay people to do the things that they're talented at because it's their profession, you know? And I used to go to alterations places before I got my own sewing machine, but I don't want to deal with it. And then after this, I'm going to go and drop off some donations. I used to be the type of person where I would just pile up donations and keep piling and piling, but now I'm like dropping them off little by little when I go into town, just because otherwise they clutter up my house. So we have some clothing donations as well, and that's what Finley loaded into the back of my car. And today, well, he's been working on this for a while, but he's been kind of outfitting the basement to be more of a workshop since the bedroom renovation has wrapped up. That's been his main project, is like making the workshop more navigatable and less cluttered with all of our boxes. That's why we moved them all upstairs to the blue room. So he has a ton more space down there. And he's also redoing the basement to have like a walkout door. He's been filming himself doing some of these things. He filmed the whole door situation. So maybe I'll include that footage in this video if you want to see that. Otherwise, I'll just save it for when I'm on maternity leave. I'm getting really hot. The interior of my car is all black, and today it is very hot. It's almost 80. All right, good talk. Total success at the alterations place. We'll see how the work turns out, and then, you know, I can let you guys know. But if I'm not vlogging around then, well, if you guys live in Brattleboro, I went to literally the only alterations place that we have, which is Jumi, and it's in the Vermont Marketplace, which I love this place. There's a lot of shops in there, and it's totally wicked. We did our Christmas shopping here a little bit. There's like a bunch of random artisan markets, and then there's also really good food. Anyway, I dropped off like 20 items, if not, I think a little bit more. And pretty much most of my stuff was like small tears and just little rips, or like I got my skirts caught on like a fence post or something. And so he was like, yeah, these are all fine. And then I showed him 2 pairs of Finley's Carhartt work pants, and he was like, I think these are they're too many rips. I was like, I understand. Just whatever you can do really would be fine. So I'll come back in like mid-June or something. I was like literally no rush on any of this. So he'll take his sweet time. But that was checked off my to-do list today. I'm just looking at my little tote bag here for where I'm going next. I think I'm just gonna go to the thrift store. I'm also listening to Billie Eilish's new album, which I'm loving. And I just feel like my baby has been so well fed in the last trimester of pregnancy, music-wise. I mean, I'm feeding her nutritionally well as well, but musically, she has new Casey Musgraves, new Taylor Swift, new Billie Eilish, new Childish Gambino I just found out. I mean, life is just easy living. New Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper's been releasing some fire singles recently. I'm just so happy. I feel like I wasn't really vibing with his music for a while, and now it's like I'm kind of coming back to it, which is great. Anyway, that's what's up with me. I never really talk about music anymore, especially now that I don't have my Souls at Sundown podcast, where it was literally a music-based podcast, music and advice. But you can always follow me on Spotify, and then you'll see all of the things that I'm listening to. Normally I make like a gigantic yearly playlist of like all of my favorite albums from the year so far. Sometimes I'll remove them throughout the year if I'm like, this project actually wasn't that good. Like, I'll give everything a chance on the playlist, and then sometimes I'm like, never mind. But that's pretty much the most consistent like music playlist you can count on there. And then sometimes I'll make like seasonal playlists if I'm feeling crazy, but it just depends on the mood. Okay, let's stop blabbing and go donate. Maybe I'll get some lunch while I'm out. No, I have food at home. Every time I take my lunch on the porch, I have a little muddy visitor. Are you taking bites out of the step? Do you think? Oh, there she goes. This is really attention hogging, huh? Yeah, you're my attention hog.
So as you can see, I'm doing some business. Demolition, best part because it's just easy. You're just destroying things. This is like what certain people like to do with the government. They don't have plans of how to make things better. They just have plans of how to destroy things. And it's like so much more effective because it's so much easier, but obviously it makes life worse. I've got big problems with this wall. This is between my garage doors here. Big, I gotta pop it off the tripod. I gotta get active. You know, I gotta show people what's going on. So y'all see that? That's not something you really ever want to see, actually. So that's no bueno. And I'll tell you what, you didn't see what it looked like when I popped them off. This is after I've cleaned it up a bit. The exterior is, well, let's go out and see. This is our beautiful siding that I hate. The good news is that it's different. So, you know, most of the house has that horrible siding. This has even worse siding. And then the exciting part is, I'm gonna put a door right there. Because you really, this is for all you people who have garages with no doors access. It's like, I have one door in my house, and that door is on literally the opposite corner. So it's like, I have to go all the way. It's just trust me, it's very inconvenient. So I actually thought I wasn't gonna be able to put in a door because it's concrete foundation everywhere else, but this wall is wooden framed, so I can frame a door in there. I want to put the door like over here. I got these things in the way. I'm gonna pop those off. He was just setting stuff on top of there. I might just move them over there because they are convenient to have. I got a lot of long pieces of wood I need to store, so I'm excited though. I'm very excited for the door, and I'm excited to, I'm kind of at war with my chipmunks. So my chipmunks I like they're pretty chill, they're respectful, and they pretend they're not here. You know what I mean? My squirrels, I will feel no remorse. These things are nailed the heck in. Come on, baby. How the hell am I gonna get these things off? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nails right there. Yeah, what's up? Well, I'm realizing since these little supports seem to be structurally melted into this building, the smart man just works around it. That's me, I'm the smart man. That's what I want my door. So rough opening, I'm looking at like 82.5 inches high. 38.5 inches wide, I think. If I kind of matched it up to this stud, that would leave me 20 inches from the garage door. So let's go outside and see what that would kind of look like. It might be a little close. It might look pretty awkward, so I might need to make it further out. All right, that's what we're looking at. That's 20 inches from the garage door. Let's go measure 38.5 from there, see what it would look like. I'm thinking that's good, honestly. I'm thinking that's... Damn, that could even be sexy. With new siding on. Who knows? I'm probably gonna change some of those windows. So another problem is you just can't have wood siding touching the ground like this. It just rots, obviously. I can literally, like, if there was grass growing inside the wall. I'm still thinking about how to approach this. Like, I want to use a not wood product. The other thing I'm gonna do is like dig up all this dirt, basically, and we're gonna get a bunch of rock here at some point. It's alive! That is one freaky dude. Holy shit. So many monsters. So basically I'm just trying to get a nice kind of ditch here so I can fill it with gravel. I mean, I'm gonna fill everything with gravel. I might dig it out further and stuff. And I'm using the soil to fill in some space over there. That's kind of a weird ditch we have, so hopefully this will help with that. Ducky's kind of helping, but it's kind of like having like a 3-year-old help you. it's not always as helpful as they intend. It's killing me. I'm digging this stuff up and there's so many rocks like in it, but way too much soil, so it's, you know, still great for growing. So I really would love to sift out the rocks. And I also don't have a wheelbarrow, so I'm kind of trying to make the best of both worlds. See, this is what you do. You accept the circumstances and then make the best of it. So I'm gonna dump the dirt on the metal thing, and then I'm gonna use my gravel rake and see if I can separate out, see how it goes. We'll see. It might not work. I'd give it like a 2 out of 10 overall. Better than a 1 out of 10, which is what I was working with, so bright side, right? Well, I finished up the trench, got some rock in there. My back's hurting, but I wouldn't want to withhold your pair achievement for the evening. The sifting for the rock, you know, I think it was worth doing. I got a good bit in there. Some of these I pulled from the yard and stuff because we got a ton of rock in our yard. Pretty happy with it. That should help a lot. I mean, you could see like the soil was straight up to that. I mean, it was terrible. So we're better off now. Got to fill in the trench with, you know, more rock and stuff. Just wanted to show you.
Tomorrow.
I'm really feeling good about my haul. I feel like I always have to go to Home Depot a second time, and I'm pretty optimistic that I'm gonna get everything I plan to get done up to putting the drywall on. I think I can even finish it with the stuff I was using in the bedroom, but we'll see about that. This is PVC trim, exterior PVC trim. I'm gonna cut the bottom of that wood sheathing off and replace it with this trim. I got this Z flashing. I'll show you how I do that, but that's to help direct the water away from the wood. Got R19 insulation here. This is 23-inch wide. I mean, I wouldn't call it advanced framing that he's doing in here, but it's that kind of idea, I guess. I got 4 sheets of drywall, 4 1-inch thick polycarbonate, I think it's called, but it might be called something else. But basically foam board. 2.5-inch drywall screws. Drywall is going to go on top of the polycarbonate. I'm using that polycarbonate to try to get a full span and break all, get rid of all the thermal breaks that the studs create in the wall. These 2.5-inch long screws will go right through that inch of polycarbonate, 1/2 inch of drywall, and still have an inch to bite into the studs. They sell number 6 and number 8 drywall screws. In most situations, number 6 is probably the thing to get. Number 8 is good for like if you're screwing into older wood or maybe like anything where it could possibly have some damage and stuff and you just want something a little bigger with a better grip. But there's about half as many screws in here as the number 6 equivalent box that I think was like the same price. They're both 5 pounds, so certainly would save some money getting the number 6. I honestly didn't know the difference, and there's no internet or service at the Home Depot. That's like the scariest part of that store, dude. You just go in there, you better know what to flip you want. 5.5 inches up from here. I'm gonna chalk line across. This is gonna be probably the biggest test of the day. Set my depth on my circle saw to the thickness of this sheathing right here. Just rip it across. Pray to God that I can do a straight line somehow. I mean, that one's gonna be a prayer. We'll see how that goes. This is 5/8. This is 3/4. So there's like an 1/8 inch difference in the back, but you know, theoretically, I'm gonna slip this up under there. I'm just trying to do this the cheapest, simplest way for my situation because we're gonna re-side this house anyways. And this will essentially be sheathing at some point, like with siding over it, probably. That's why I keep calling it sheathing. But if water was to get behind that, normally it'd be siding. It would meet this little drip edge, come down here, fall over the front side of the PVC, rather than going back down and settling at the bottom plate and all those framing members and stuff. So that's the goal. I really hope it works. That's a pretty straight line right there. So I got that depth pretty good. Definitely shouldn't have cut into the studs at all. With the PVC at the bottom, the moisture won't wick up like that. But yeah, I'm kind of concerned, like, you know, you don't want your base plate to, or your bottom plate to rot out. But you can also see, like, that's not from me cutting anything. Like, that hole's just been there. And this has been an empty cavity for mice to live in, etc. Cleaned up the cuts with this thing. So I'm using that door. It never even crossed my mind. I don't know how. He probably got this door to put it down here. I mean, I'm putting in windowless garage doors, so I kind of want to like close this space up and make it as insulated as possible, but it'll be nice to have the double doors with the windows. It won't fit anywhere over there where I initially wanted to put it. This right here is the only section I can get it to fit. And even here, I can only put a jack stud right here. And you know, I'm just gonna use this. This is a beam, this is a beam. Like, there's a lot of right here, so I think it's okay to just use a jack stud that I put right here, and then that gives me enough space to get to here. This is where the bolt is, so I'll just put my king and jack and then just kind of carve out to set on top of that bolt there. That should be fine from what I read. The door is tall enough that with the header on the door, with the 2x6 header, like I need to take these completely out basically. I'm just trying to decide the best way to go about it. It's terrifying. I know the house isn't gonna like come down or anything like that, but sheesh. Hey, it's not graceful, but oh, it's looking pretty good. That wasn't too bad, honestly. This I just cut to the length where I'm gonna put the king stud and jack stud here, but I'm gonna go ahead and install those first, just to give a little extra support in here before I take these out, just in case the house was gonna come down. I'm not an engineer. I'm the homeowner. The scariest thing of all. This is what I do. I just Google it. It's pretty simple. These are the jack studs on the inside. That's the king stud on the outside. That's the header. Mine's gonna look a little different for this wall, a little heavier duty. But basically, I'm gonna put that king stud over there, then the jack stud, and then I'll slap the jack stud over there. One thing I wanted to say is that if I was doing a bigger door here, like if it was 6 feet wide, this rough opening, there's like different rules that apply. You gotta use more studs, more support. This is about a 4 foot wide rough opening, which from what I could tell, I could pretty much just go standard. But since the depth of this wall is 5.5 inches, that's why I said the header's just gonna look a little different than the one in that photo. It's going pretty well. I'm feeling a little more confident. When you're working on a load bearing wall, if you try to cut through a stud, like this wiggles now. I've cut it on the top and the bottom. The fact that there's not like weight pressing it down even after I cut or like catching my blade or something makes me pretty confident that as long as I frame this properly with the stuff that I replace it with, I haven't done anything damaging here. I think it was probably good I put this one in. This is a real tight fit. Had to hammer it in place. It honestly went perfectly how I wanted. And once I get the header on there, I'll feel like everything's, nice, safe, and sound again. But yeah, it just it gives me a little confidence. Once I finish framing it out, I'm gonna cut out all this sheathing, so I don't really have to worry about the fact that it breaks here or anything like that. I got some beam sag in the middle of the span right here. I would have liked to put a 2x6 here, but I didn't have enough room for 1.5 inches, and all the strength is really coming from these vertical ones anyways. So this is 3/4 inch right there. I just have to trim down a little bit here. It's like 1/4 inch off over 20 inches, and I'm gonna do that on the table saw freehand, and then they should stick in pretty well. I'm gonna put 3 of these in there for the header with a inch of insulation in between. I think if my math's right, that'll add up to 5.5 inches. I actually put this in backwards. Just don't mind that. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have the reflective side on the side you want to bounce the heat back from, basically. So for me, that would be into the basement, not out of it. That's okay. I doubt it makes that big a difference in this case anyways. So behind this is 2 screwed together 2x6s, and then I'm gonna slap another 2x6 on there. Actually could be a nice strong header. Both sitting on the 2x6s on either end here. Just wanted to show you all that. I don't want to cut this all out until, I know I'm going to get a door in the same day, so probably going to stop here. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, the real question is, will the door fit in this rough opening, which, obviously it should if I measured everything right. Once I cut out that bottom plate and whatnot, I'm going to use this Gorilla Glue, which is probably more expensive than the product I actually needed, but it says it sticks to concrete and aluminum, so that's what I need. And then I'm going to custom make a little flashing to make a little bottom pan for this thing. I'll show you all that, and then this is just kind of membrane tape I'll use to also try to help block any water, and also the whole point is to kind of plan for, in the case water does get back there, to sort of direct it outside rather than letting it sit and rot things out. So it'll be a thrill.
Tomorrow for sure.
Enough for me. There it is. The rough opening is 49.25. I'm adding 6 inches to go up on either side of the frame in there, so it'll be 61.25. I can already tell, this being aluminum, in the past I've used steel that's a lot stronger and harder to work with. Gosh, this is a lot easier. I'm gonna see if I can just cut this with a razor blade. Oh yeah. Whew. Damn, that is nicer than the galvanized steel. Definitely way easier with the aluminum. This is the general idea. Just have it curve up the wall, stick it like that, and then back here I'll flip up this back edge to the back of the door. Alright, so I got it glued into place here and nailed up in the front. I don't know what I'll do about that front lip. I guess I'll probably glue it down. Alright, this is what I'm looking at. I don't really know how that's gonna look once the door's in here. Honestly, don't really know what I'm doing right now. Alright, well this better fit in here. I think we're gonna be good as far as the fit goes. Looking pretty good to me. So here's what it looks like from the back side. I mean, the idea is that like if this gets wet, it would kind of go under that metal and then outside rather than just down straight to the bottom plate. And this is what it looks like from the outside. I probably didn't cut this line straight. I mean, definitely don't do what I'm doing. Look this up for yourself because I really don't know what I'm talking about. The water would come between the metal and the siding here and then over this lip, and then under here will be the PVC. Got my vacuum hooked up because I don't want to mix this PVC stuff with the sawdust I keep sometimes. Fortunately, it's really not going too great. I think I mentioned, I can't even really remember, but pretty sure this is like 3/8 and this is 3/4, so they're like not properly sized. So I tried to bend this out a little bit, which does get it over the lip, which is the important part. So, you know, we'll just hope for the best. I mean, I'm just like, it can't be worse than it was, really, I think. I'm pretty sure, hopefully. So that's what you don't want it to look like. Everybody's gonna think it's so ugly. I'm gonna say that's in the category of could be worse. What's even the point of this drip edge? Like if it's tilted back like that, it just means water's gonna sit back there. So as I've said, don't do what I'm doing. Do a little more research, try a little harder. All right, we're just gonna pretend that looks good. Don't tell my wife. I mean, in theory, I'd have siding over top of this eventually or something like that. Another reason I don't care too much is because I might just undo all this later. See if I could do better on the next one. In case you're wondering, it didn't go any better. So my tip would be if you're gonna do something like this, actually make sure you know what you're doing first. At least I got a door in the wall. You got a lot of nerve. Oh my God, there's another one trying to ruin my life.
Hello folks, it's the next day now. I just left the dentist. Pearly whites, stains, gone. Iron staining, don't know her anymore. I actually got really lucky because so I did come in, it was like mid-April for a 6-month cleaning, and then I have one scheduled for like later in the year, you know? And normally insurance only covers 2 cleanings. I love my dental hygienist. She's so cool. She's like the same age as me, and just we talk about all the things, and she's just chill, you know? And I don't go to the dentist this much. I feel like I've been going more frequently here than I have like the other places I've lived more temporarily. And so it's just been like a good spot. I go to Brattleboro Dental Care. And so I called and left a message about the iron staining for my hygienist because I was like, honestly, like maybe she'll just give me some free advice, you know? And this was like around the same time that I made the TikTok about the staining, asking for like dental hygienist opinions in the comments and stuff, because some people, it was just like that kind of information where some people were like, use a whitening toothpaste. And then some other people were like, it's too abrasive, don't use the whitening toothpaste. And all this kind of stuff where I'm like, what is the answer? So I called the dentist and just left a message basically explaining the situation. And then they called me back and we got an appointment on the books because they said that because at my last cleaning, there was no exam at the end of it because like the dentist wasn't in that day or something like that. I actually could just come in and get like an exam because that was supposed to be attached to my last cleaning and I didn't get it. And then they could just like polish away the stains for free while I get the exam. So I was like, slay, I'm gonna do that. So I kind of lucked out in that situation because I was really worried that I would just like have to pay out of pocket for a dental cleaning basically. So I just wanted to say that. Gotta love insurance coverage making you beat around the bush. But I wanted to say, so obviously biggest takeaway here is don't take liquid iron supplement like Floridix undiluted. Lesson definitely learned there, brother, okay? Because the staining was not only on the surface of my teeth, but it was also like in the gaps of my teeth. So she just used that little like metal pick and like picked it all away and then polished with a pumice polish. And I was like, okay, pumice, like pumice stone exfoliating my teeth up in here. And they're so much whiter now. They're all gone, polished them right up. It was just perfect. And then I had like my exam after and the dentist was like, looking good. It was a good appointment and I'm glad that I got to come here. I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll go into labor before or after. You never know. But I'm also just trying to like not think about that every day when I go out on the town. Like if it happens, it happens. If my water breaks, then it breaks. But I still want to just like be able to do the things that I need to do. So I'm just kind of like going about my life. But I wanted to provide you guys that little update. So yeah, if you guys take liquid iron, just dilute her, drink it with a straw, they said as well, so it doesn't like touch the teeth. Because Floridix, it's a very great supplement. I mean, it's very powerful and it will help if you're iron deficient, and a lot of people are, especially if you have, you know, a vegan or vegetarian diet. And then they also recommended that I do brush with a whitening toothpaste like 3 times a week. And they were like, you know, Crest, Colgate, we recommend those brands. I said, okay, honey. And then I use like Sensodyne for all of the other days of the week. And honestly, this whole like teeth thing and people noticing it and just like feeling insecure about it and stuff was hard for me because I smile and giggle and laugh a lot. And I like, you know, show my teeth all the time. So it was just one of those things where I was like, damn. So my heart goes out to you if you have teeth insecurity, because it's one of those things where it's just like, it's very prevalent in your life. Like you think about it a lot, especially because I'm on the internet and I watch these videos back of myself and then I like see it. It was more prominent staining on the camera than it was in real life, I feel like. So that's why people were noticing it even more. It kind of came as a shock to me, this whole staining thing, because I've been really, really vigilant about my dental hygiene because your enamel does kind of wear down in pregnancy, but you can get most of those vitamins back with like a good prenatal and stuff, which I do take as well. But yeah, I mean, I brush twice a day. I water pick with, you know, a little water pick flosser situation. I'm trying to like reverse or not make worse my gum recession on my bottom teeth. So I've just been like really thinking a lot about that. And I use like a gum sensitivity mouthwash, just all this stuff where I was just like, damn, I thought I was really getting this under control. And then now my teeth are stained, but it was just like a whole other thing. But anyway, I just wanted to provide you a tooth update today. And now it's like 11 a.m. and I think I'm just gonna head back home and kind of lay. I'm definitely feeling this baby today. I'm having a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions where it's just like the top of my uterus feels very hard, like a rock. I wish I could like show you or explain the sensation to you other than that, but it's just, yeah, my uterus, it's tightening, kind of like practice contractions, not actually labor. I haven't had anything yet like, you know, mucus plug, bloody show, or water breaking. So when I do, then I'll start the birth vlog, which I think I'm gonna do. I don't know, like maybe not full play-by-play birth vlog, but at least like a birth story with little vlog clips in it, I think is what I'm probably gonna end up doing, and try to just like document, for, if anything, the memories, and just for us, even if I don't share certain clips where, you know, maybe I'm more exposed, then like those will be just for us, but I can still share my birth story with you because I love birth story videos. I mean, they're the friggin' best. And I do appreciate you guys as well being just like on the ride and journey for me in this phase of my life. I know it's been a lot of like nesting and pregnancy content recently, and some people that's just not their thing. You know, they're never gonna have kids, they're not interested in that content. So thanks for being here for this season of my life. Love ya, and it's an honor to share. My camera is getting overheated because it's gonna be 80 today again, and my black camera is just sitting on my black interior of my car and it's getting hot. So I'm just gonna listen to my podcast, So True with Caleb Heron, and head the hell home with my shiny teeth and me. La 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 la. Hey y'all, I'm going to pick up my mom for dinner, y'all. I took a little shower, so I just braided my hair afterwards because, oh my god, it was so hot today. I was just disgusting, dripping in sweat in the house. I'm happy that we timed our pregnancy the way we did, so I'm not having the baby in like the sweltering heat of summer. I didn't even really think about it at the time, but now that I'm getting ready to birth in May, I'm like, this was a good time. You know, I was like pregnant through winters, kind of like hibernation mode. I guess unless you really want to like wear cute summer outfits with a giant bump, you could do that and time your pregnancy to a different time of the year, but I'm happy with the time we chose, even though it was unintentional. I'm gonna go pick up my mom, and then we're gonna go to dinner at my favorite place in town, which is High Thai. So if you ever come to visit Brattleboro, definitely go there. Check the hours of literally anywhere you go in Brattleboro because it's not always open. Really weird hours, but I'm heading to go get her. I haven't really had that many tasks for her around the house, so it's kind of like we're just going on little dates. Oh, who's calling me? Look at the mist!
The next morning.
What up, y'all? It's me and my blueberry chia seed pudding. Just chillin' in Cedar Rapids. I made a small bowl of this, and then I also made a large bowl that's, bless you, Rue, that's for postpartum, I guess. But this recipe is so easy. Chia seed pudding is so freaking easy. It's literally like a can of coconut milk, chia seeds, and then, you know, sometimes I blend in blueberries or some kind of protein powder if I'm feeling crazy, but rarely. I don't need to like withhold this from myself because it's so easy to make postpartum. who cares, right, Rue? So my updates today are that I am waiting for the delivery drivers to drop off our refrigerator. And Finley is finishing up some stuff in the basement that I want to show you since his FinCam return. So you know what I realized in this vlog? I was like, oh my God, I definitely should include some of these like clips that Finley's been recording, because when he was focused on the bedroom for so many months, we kind of stopped doing the renovation vlogs, which you guys love so much. And so then I figured in this video, we might as well just like return to the reno vlogs, because he does film here and there and, you know, gets little clips for you of like random projects he's doing. Not all the time, but most of the time. So we've done some home improvement projects, even since the bedroom, but mainly focusing definitely on the basement right now. And the sealing up of the basement has been a good idea, you know, because obviously in the clips that you guys saw, the wood paneling that was like original here at the house was just rotting away at the foundation, and there was like grass growing inside the basement and, you know, little critters coming in, and we don't want any critters, you know, we pay the mortgage and they don't. So that is what is pretty much on the agenda today. It's just kind of like waiting in this vague window of 12:30 to 4:30 for the delivery drivers, but I'm fine doing that. I'm pretty much just bed resting anyways. I'm either editing, or I was just pulling some Oracle cards, which was fun, or posting some maternity photos on Instagram. That's pretty much what I do every day now, even though I'm through my maternity photo shoot now. I've posted all my pics. My mom is like at some farm, she said, in West Brattleboro, and I was like, live it up, girl. I'm here. So maybe she'll come over later, but I don't know. Both of the dogs are sunbathing in their little squishmallow beds by the window. Ugh, so cute. I love them so much. But yeah, I've just been doing random projects or trying to get things checked off the to-do list as well mentally. And today, because it's gonna be like freaking 90 out, I have to clean our AC units. We do have like in-window units, we just don't have central AC. And being this pregnant in this heat is not ideal for me. I'm one of those people too who just like doesn't really like hot weather. Like I get really irritable and yeah, just annoyed easily. I don't want to be that way. So I'm gonna clean the AC units today and try to see if they need like filter replacements, and that's like what I'm gonna do, and hang out and listen to podcasts and stuff while I'm just waiting for the delivery driver. So that's my nesting task today. I'm trying to think if I have other updates for you guys. Oh, I want to go down to the basement and show you the updates that Finley has done since filming his last clips, because I feel like he left you off on a cliffhanger or something. All right, this is your latest update for the basement. So amazing that we have this walkout door here, because it also offers a little bit of light. The old garage doors had 4 windows on the top of them, but the new ones have no windows at all. So it's nice to have some like natural light and stuff like that. Now we have automatic garage doors on both sides, a walkout door that was not here before, which is fantastic, and insulation, thank God. So there was no insulation back here before, which is freaking crazy. And we're just really trying to seal this bad boy up and not spend as much money on heat this upcoming winter. So this summer we're just like doing random projects like that. Also, I was asking Finley about this the other day, because I was like, well, I guess we could just park the truck right in here. But then at the same time, I'm like, I kind of like the truck where it is, and having this as an open space for his workshop and tools and stuff, because then it's just like, if there's a giant truck in here, it's just so much harder to work around that. So I don't know if we're gonna be parking the truck in here. It might just be workshop, but yep. Things are getting crazy in here. He has to do the drywalling still, obviously, but you know, that's probably not gonna happen in this video. It definitely won't happen in this video. Maybe we wash all these today, because I was talking about that in this video. Let's get started. So exciting, dogs. Our delivery drivers are here. They're dropping off not only the refrigerator, but also the fan for the exhaust above the stove. So we got one that will like go under here, up into the cabinet and out, because this is an exterior wall, thank God. That's always like the struggle really with these things. And then we can get rid of this light bar, which was obviously just like a makeshift thing that the previous owner put in, but I'm very excited. This is the best day of my life. My life. We just got our big delivery. So we went with the Bosch. We'll let you know how we like it. but we have a Bosch dishwasher. And you know, with refrigerators, everybody's got their opinions. What's the best, what's not, but we just figure we'll start with this. It doesn't have that many crazy features.
Should definitely be a good fridge.
My mom just came over and brought me this gorgeous bouquet. Love it so much. It has some nice lilac in it. It's very potent. Some gorgeous peonies. Ah, lovely day. I just went through our bags of linens that were like at the top of the stairs, and I think I like this. I put the produce bowl on here the other day just to kind of like clear off space on my countertops, and I definitely prefer it because this is just, it's not a big enough space to hold that gigantic bowl. So we're just kind of figuring it out, but I found this little fabric and I'm like, okay, it kind of brightens up the space a little bit. I don't know, I may decide that I hate it in a few days, but it does match with the carpet. Okay, you know when you start too many projects, then you're like, oh God, I just need to pick a lane. Finley's been working on setting up our new appliances and reading all the guides and stuff, but I am currently dealing with the window AC units, some laundry, which you might be able to hear the dryer vent. And then once the laundry's done with my bandanas in it, then I can tie them back on this ladder that I just cleaned. Love her work. I'm also drying some of my welcome mats out here because we had a big rainstorm last night. It was like a torrential downpour. But yeah, I wiped this bad boy down. It wasn't that dirty, but I just need it to be clean before I can put everything back on it. And I think I mentioned this as well, but I'm also kind of just going through like our bags of linens because we don't have technically a linen closet here. The only like thing that I'm using as a linen closet right now, honestly, is the bathroom cabinet, which you guys saw when I deep cleaned the bathroom. And I like folded all of our sheets for our bed and put them in there because the bathroom's attached to our bedroom. It just makes the most sense to have like our things grab and go in there and our towels and stuff. But we do have like a queen size guest bed and a twin size bed for like a future, well, that used to be our guest bed, and our queen size bed we used to use in Oregon before we upgraded to a California King when we moved here. So now we have all of those sheets for those two separate mattresses. And I'm just like, I don't know where to put them all. I think that I'm just going to like figure out some kind of a chest situation, but I'm washing all the linens right now because they smelled bad in the storage bags. So might as well clean them. I don't know.
2 hours later.
Okay, it is 4:30 on May 22nd. And I'm 100% sure that my water just broke. I'm putting on some boxers now in a bra because it's very, very hot out. I was in the middle of talking to Finley and I felt like a rubber band like snap. And then I was like, oh, I think my water just broke.